You're watching TVC Breakfast. Let's get to our next discussion. The political contest between Aishatu Binani of the All Progressives Congress and Governor Amadu Fintiri of the People's Democratic Party is not yet over. In a development, the Independent National Electoral Commission has suspended the resident electoral commissioner, Uduari, over his announcement of Aishatu Binani as the winner, even though collation hadn't been concluded. This has stirred controversies as the People's Democratic Party held a protest on Monday while giving the INEC officials 72 hours to complete the governorship exercise. For the All Progressives Congress, they still insist that the election has been concluded with Binani emerging victorious. The INEC officials have scheduled a meeting for today, and many are expecting a positive development from it. Okay? That's the crux of our discussion next. And joining us in the studio is a public affairs analyst, Muyiwa, Ogunlaja. It's nice to have you join us this morning.
Thank you, my dear. Good morning.
Great.
Thank you.
Good morning to our great poet.
All right. We've been enjoying all morning.
Yes.
You know, it's okay. Thank you very much. Now, Nigerians reacted in different ways when they heard what happened in Adamawa in the resident electoral commissioner announcing, the winner of the election that hasn't been concluded yet. When the news came to you, I wonder what your first reaction was.
I was caught napping. I was actually a bit disturbed. I wondered the essence of having qualitative education. Because coming from someone who is supposed to be learned, a lawyer, those who take pride in being learned and be better informed than their colleagues or equally graduates, I thought it was a minus for them. The laws are there. Even ordinary court clerk will interpret the law. The 2022 Electoral Act did say, section 64-65, that only the returning officer for a gubernatorial election, who most of the time happens to be an academic, has the legal right to declare the result of the election, which is not sacrosanct until it has been confirmed by the national body. And aside from that, results can only be declared after all elections, the process has been concluded. I wonder what a father is in a hurry for, to name a baby yes to be given birth to, and say, from this boy we call I know. Who tells you that the boy will be I know? Why not wait? What if you end up having twins?
Well, they have done they've done the scan, and they have seen the baby. So they've seen the boy, and they've seen the girl. So that's what the record.
Maybe at times scans could be faulty. The best scan is done by God, and when He says yes, it is yes. So they should have waited.
So it is a wrong scan.
It's a wrong scan
with the wrong result.
It's a wrong scan with the wrong result. He gave people the opportunity of doubting him, of doubting his sincerity, to be candid. There's no cause for you to be in haste, knowing full well that the process should be completed. I have such thoughts for Binani, being a lady. I want to see women come up and say that very soon we'll have a lady of substance who wants to contest for the post of the presidency. I have some spot, but that should be at the peril of constitutional means, of honesty, of being trustworthy. No matter what happens now, if eventually Binani is declared the winner, people will not have that confidence. And if Fintiri is returned as the winner, people will say it's because of what happened. So you have a lot of aspersion on the credibility of the election in Adamawa State. And what the gentleman Undu has done is like treasonable felony. It is a fight against the state. You want to destabilize the state. And whatever you do that will destabilize the state is treasonable. And because he is a lawyer, he ought to have known better. So I felt a bit disturbed. And I want to say that to the law profession, it's a minus.
But what is going on here in Adamawa, it looks like what you see in the Banana Republic. Everybody is every party is trying to claim that this thing belongs to their own version of a Miloko. They take it, I will take it and then do whatever I want to do. No. What I want to know is, what did Ari Yunusa think he will get away with by saying this, by doing that? Did he think that he could just force a fait accompli on the state and on the constitution? I don't know. What do you think? Do you think was going on?
You see, initially I thought perhaps the gentleman was under a kind of spell. That's the truth, because with that level of education, with that exposure, with the expected control of emotional intelligence, because no matter what I want, that kind of man should be above emotional feelings now. That no matter the way you're feeling, it is the truth that you're allowed to prevail. Let the constitutional means prevail. So I was of the opinion that perhaps it was under a kind of spell. That spell will not necessarily be juju, spell of influence of money. And I want to ask, how much will it be given that will equate his own credibility that he has built over the years?
It could also be the fact that he's a feminist.
Well, but even those who are feminists,
they call them feminazis.
Yes, even those who went to Beijing conference are beginning to backslide down. So there was some problem. So I think it is not good enough. It's not good enough. It's a minus. It's a minus to the law profession. It's a minus to INEC too. Why should INEC allow that kind of person to be a wreck? It's a minus to the established institutions that look at candidates and give them pass marks and say, okay, this one is fit to be there. This ought to have been detected. And I think the man during the process of appointing him, the man hid under some other pretenses that did not allow people to know his exact person.
But the way the thing has gone gives you a sense of collusion. Could it have been a collusion between the candidate and the rec? Because the rec did the wrong thing.
Yes.
Having accepted that it's the wrong thing, the people expected that the candidate would say, no, wait. But the candidate came out and started coming out with so speech about a woman, this is a woman who has become a governor, and talking about kids who should also become aspirational for a fraud.
No way.
But why would she? What would have made her come out to say, okay, I accept
acceptance speech?
We see, Nigerians do not believe in what I call let it go syndrome, or being truthful. Under normal circumstance, that lady ought to have rejected that announcement. Say, no. Much as I want to be the governor of this state, it has to be done constitutionally. I know to the best of my knowledge that my election result should be declared by the returning officer. And Mr. Uri is not the returning officer. So my supporters, please let us hold on or to get the right declaration. She will have been the Jesus of our time now.
Yes.
That's the truth. And that
But she has even gone to the tribunal.
And that perhaps will have swayed the result towards her side. And people now look at her and say, wow, so we have a woman of substance in this country. That's under queen.
That's the point you made. Maybe if she had said, no, let it count, the votes count. I don't want to win by rigging. I don't want to rig by fraud. This woman is really nice. Let us go and vote for her.
They will just... and that is it.
Only that the
votes have already been concluded.
With the conclusion of the vote,
has been concluded.
She will have implanted her impression in the minds of Nigerians. Let her come the next 4 years as president.
Maybe
she will say, wow, no, we want her.
Should have bought a lot of goodwill.
A lot of goodwill. But because of this urge for power at all costs, I must win. I must be there. It is my turn. It is me. At times, it could be your turn. It could only be your turn. But I want to tell her that, no, she might claim that this is her turn, but it is not her turn until the results are properly announced.
All right.
But could it also be, Could it also be that she was doing it because she knew she had already lost. Because it was before the supplementary election, she was trailing by 31,000 votes.
Yeah.
And the number of votes left to be counted are less than 40,000.
Yes. She needed to win about 95%
of the votes. I mean, virtually everybody will line behind her. And if she won by 2 or 3 votes, they will have to do a recount or something like that. Yes. So it was like, I'd rather grab it now because there's no way I'm going to grab it by the due process. Is this not too much of impunity?
It is, especially the rec. You see, the rec, barrister Issa Yunusa knew that the difference just 31 votes. He equally knew that just about 40,000 people are left. And he equally must have known that for that one to win, she ought to have garnered 95% of the votes. How could 95% of people left be just for one particular? It's not possible. So he should have actually consulted the senses and asked himself the question, what will be the repercussion of this? But as I have said, I for one, I'll pity the man. I want him to be sent to a psychiatric home for examination. Something could be happening. And let's say the truth. At times you lose yourself. You lose it at times. Just about 2 minutes or 5 minutes. And those 2 minutes are the period he made the announcement. Maybe after the announcement, he was back to the sense that, what have I just done? What have I just done? I want to believe that.
But it wasn't like the Holy Spirit came on him and made him do that. It would have been something. That's why Sam was asking earlier. Does it look like there's a script here? Does it look like there's a collusion here? Because when he came up with that, we saw the response of the governorship candidate almost immediately.
You know why
so they were watching and they were following.
Right. You know why I said that I don't want to believe that? There's someone who has gone through the mill. Someone who has been adequately drilled. Someone who has seen it all, who knows the meaning of being a wreck. And for him to now fall for that kind of prey is a bit disturbing. But I want to clearly say that in Nigeria, we don't take the opportunity of sanitizing the system. Immediately that announcement has been made, the gentleman ought to have been arrested. Immediately.
But the commissioner of police and all the other security agents were there with him.
See, that's the problem you have. Secondly, INEC ought to have issued an administrative query immediately.
But the respondent...
Later, it was later.
But it took a few hours, but they did.
There are certain things that, my brother, there are some actions that you take instantaneous. You can't do that in the civil service.
I guess they wanted to get all sides of the story.
Get the facts of the story.
Get the facts first. Because the query has to include the items.
Yes, you have to have time
you need to get it right.
Yeah,
because there's documentation.
In Adamawa.
All right, we'll come back. We'll come back.
You'll come back to that.
You're watching TVC Breakfast. We'll be right back on this program. Stay with us.
Binano will have made herself a hero.
All right, you're watching TVC Breakfast. On this segment, we're still discussing the developments from Adamawa State, where on Sunday, just 2 days ago, following the supplementary election that were conducted in Adamawa State for the governorship, the resident electoral commissioner decided to announce the candidate of the APC as winner, Aisha Binani, when the election is said to still have been, the coalition still have been going on at the time. And apart from that, he is not empowered by law to be the one to make the announcement. So this has generated a lot of controversies and reaction from across the country. And we have in the studio here Muyiwa Ogunlaja. He is helping us to make sense of some of these issues. Now, before we went on the break, we're talking about the issue of the query. And INEC responding. You were saying INEC responded not as soon as it's supposed to. But on the other hand, the point there is, some was saying, well, INEC needed to look at all of the issues first so that it is captured in the query that should have been issued.
Yeah, but they responded within a few hours.
No,
there's not too long.
Because they declared it null and void.
There is what is called administrative query.
Okay.
You don't need the details for administrative query. The minute a primary facie case has been established against you, that will explain why this was done. From that explanation, you now issue the real query. A query is not that you have been indicted. A query is a question. Your reply is the answer. Anybody can question you. Why are you sitting there? Oh, because I want to see, I want to cast the news. That's all. It's not that you have been indicted. So they should have issued that. Why was that done? Why did you make the announcement? You reply immediately.
How long did it take?
You now issue.
How long did it take before Okoye responded?
24 hours.
No, it didn't take 24
No,
hours.
it
was that very
it
day.
didn't
It
take
was a
24
few hours.
You are asking how much we do take.
No, before INEC responded.
Before they
Responded as a whole.
They responded that same day.
Yeah.
Yes.
That same day.
In a few hours. And they did, so it was okay.
That same day. Aside from that, the woman too who claimed that she has won ought to be in the gallows now. What did MKO did at Ekwetedo that sent to prison? He claimed to have won the election. Where did he find himself? The gallows. So, and that's someone actually won the election.
So legally, you could say that Binani has also committed an electoral crime.
That's what I'm saying.
And all those people who held rallies.
All of them
carrying their horns and jumping on.
They just get some people arrested for committing illegality, for trying to cause a breach of the law. Because if it is not well managed, it can snowball. And when it does, all of us will be in trouble.
On the other hand, if that is done now, considering how slippery political issues can be, it will now, some persons will interpret it to be political persecution.
Now, yes. But that's what I'm saying, that promptness is important. The moment that has been made, she ought to have been arrested immediately. Then nobody will question that, because all of us knew, and we still know, that she shouldn't have responded to an illegally made announcement. Even before the election, INEC was telling us that, please, only resource from the electoral should be taken. Another one is not it, and people should not participate in such information. So why should we not take to the streets to say that she has won an election based on what I call mass media proclamation, in quote?
Well, how long shall we live with this kind of things? You know, it's like history repeating itself.
Yes.
Somebody said history repeats itself. That's the one thing that is wrong with history. Clarence Darrow. Yes, that everybody will say I won the election. Since we started democracy in the 1960s, it has always been if you win. And it's not true.
It's not true.
I must say it didn't win. That's it. Nobody will act like Jonathan, who said,
that was the only time history did not repeat itself.
Nobody's life is what
my ambition.
The ambition. I know
it's
that
not
kind of
anybody's
thing.
blood.
Yeah, it's a vaulting ambition. How long shall we live with this repetitive tragedy in our history?
For as long as we have the belief that politics is a do or die affair. The secondly, for as long as politics is monetized in this country. Politics has been monetized to the extent that people of conscience who are really ready and willing to serve cannot get there because they don't have that quantum of money needed to galvanize people.
But they say politics is expensive.
You shouldn't know. I disagree with you.
Okay.
We have made politics expensive in Nigeria. I agree with that.
It's expensive everywhere.
It's expensive.
Tell me where it's not expensive.
No, listen.
Okay.
Listen. I know of a young boy, a colleague, actually a colleague, he came to Unilag in those good old days, moved back to Ghana, he contested the last election, he won. This is a boy who could not afford the kind of money in Nigeria. What he did in Ghana, he can't do it in Nigeria because he will need that support. Apart from the money.
Is he a Nigerian?
No, he's a Ghanaian.
Oh, okay.
He's a Ghanaian.
Okay.
But he came to Unilag.
He moved
back to his country.
He ran election where?
Ghana. And he won.
And he won.
Yes.
Yeah, some people spend money. Some people spend money for him. It's expensive. If you don't even spend your money, people will spend for you. So in the final analysis, it's expensive. That's why they call it They say money is the mother's milk of politics.
There are certain there are certain expenses that you must bear when you want to come to politics. I agree with that. It's not okay. For instance, do you know that its own form for election there was less than 20,000 naira when converted, about 50,000 naira when converted.
To run for what? To run for what?
Councillorship.
Yes. That's small office. In Nigeria, how much does it cost to get a form?
500,000. 500,000. Yes. 500,000. I'm telling you authoritatively.
Yes, but people will gather the money.
This is what I'm saying. You gather the money.
No, this is what
the inflation
rate. You gather the money for me.
It's still expensive. 20,000 naira. 20,000 naira is still expensive in Ghana. It's just that. If we say even if it's expensive in Nigeria, it's not as expensive in Nigeria as it is in the United States. It's even more expensive. Politics is even more expensive in the United States than it is in Nigeria. As we say, it's expensive here. It's expensive everywhere. It's just by degrees that it varies from society to society. You don't know that 20,000 was a lot of money for him to even buy.
Exactly. But the point is this: I know of other countries too, where the moment you are seen as being distinguished, you are allowed to contest. You do the contest without paying much. Most of these Arab countries, let me tell you the truth, they hardly pay.
You don't have democracies there?
No, there is democracy.
They don't have democracies.
That is your opinion.
They don't have democracies there. They're almost like one party. They're like one party.
When they still go for election.
So they spend money on that party.
They go for election.
Like in China, yes.
They go for election.
They go for election.
But
the campaigns are free. They don't spend money. They don't pay for campaign. For TV.
In a situation where...
for being free.
And in fact...
Why should ads be free?
Why can't it be free?
Why should it be free?
Why should it be free?
Somebody should be paid for conceptualizing it.
Exactly.
If it is drama, somebody
dramatize it.
Somebody will say somebody
voices it.
You pay for the camera, pay for the power, pay for all this. How can it be free? Even if you don't charge for it, you spend for it.
Of course. and in a situation where, like in the Arab countries you're talking about, almost everybody is a royal. They have privileges from top down.
Exactly.
So some of the elections are even just formalities.
Are we saying that those privileges cannot be afforded? Cannot afford that in Nigeria? If Nigeria's economy is properly managed, do you think Nigerians should, for now,
well, it may not be as exactly as the Arab countries.
No, but who should pay?
Somebody must pay for them. Somebody has to pay.
It will be expensive. Then it will be expensive for the country. But if the country is supposed to pay it, then taxpayers are going to be the ones paying it. In the final analysis, you are spending a lot of money.
Just about 10 minutes ago, you mentioned blockage of loopholes.
Yes.
You mentioned how much could be saved.
Yes.
By those who from our oil theft. And you made us realize that a lot of money could be saved. They said that they will give us whatever they want, they will keep quiet. They will keep quiet. If that money had been saved, would it go a long way?
Let's spend it on the right things. Let's spend it on the right things. Spend it on free education.
Let's even cast our minds back. Let's even cast our minds back. Recall that there was a time INEC was funding political parties.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So it made forms and all of those things cheap.
Yes.
But the point there is that that's what Sam was saying, somebody has to pay. Somebody must pay for it.
Yes. Definitely.
Right? So INEC funding political parties, making it cheaper for the people because the government has already paid for it. So in a situation where...
that's why what happened? What happened? Everybody wanted political political party.
Of course,
because it was almost free.
And that enabled people who could not afford that what I want to use, that central bank breaking money, central bank vault breaking money to participate in politics. I know many young boys and girls who are learned, who are committed, who wanted the best for this country. Yeah. But you could not get there because of this hindrance.
But that's the fact of life. We can't run away from it. But going back to this same issue, do you think that this Adamawa team might be even an embarrassment to APC National because they've not said anything? Because,
they should be careful.
Yeah, because they have to, but it's a very difficult situation for them. And
they should be careful. If you see, people don't know how to gather support. If I have to be the chairman of APC, I'll be the first to come out and say, no, Binani, you goofed. We want to apologize for the utterances of our candidate. in Adamawa State, we want to say that we believe in the rule of law, and as soon as the rule of law takes its proper course, we will know the action to take. For now, have our apologies. You get again, the party will win. Many supporters again, wow, this party is really serious. Oh, this and that.
But what the grassroots of APC in Adamawa?
Yeah. Because they are thinking differently. They are the ones
They are not thinking like a politician.
No, that is, if they see that,
If they want to do anything, they probably will have to do it underground. I say, you guys should test slow, man.
They should.
Take it easy, take it easy,
Listen,
take it easy.
if it has been
But
said
they've not-
immediately, that's what I'm saying, promptness is important. As soon as she did that, let that immediately, they will not go up, they will not go be said. It will be okay, so we have done the wrong thing, okay, madam, but why now, madam? Why, I don't know, you should have waited now.
Do you think something like that can still be done?
It's late.
Is later as it is.
Already,
They can't
All
go
right.
back.
The damage has been done.
INEC has told the REC to stay away from their premises. That amounts to suspension.
Definitely.
But a lot of people have said that is not enough, that there has to be something more drastic to serve as deterrent. What
Yes,
do you
that
make?
is why it used to repeat itself. Because not enough. This part, if it's allowed to go like this, the next time another thing will happen like that.
Although we
Because
know
it
that
will now
INEC is
be-
still meeting today, and maybe something might still come out.
Even
Who
what
knows?
are the government, what are the law enforcement agents doing? There are some actions that you need to take immediately. It's not only when you do. It's not only when you run
What
after Yahoo
should they
boys.
do?
When you run after Yahoo boys.
What should they do?
That pronouncement is treasonable felony.
Yeah, but
That woman should have been
law
arrested.
enforcement can't do anything unless there is a political decision.
Why must you wait for a political decision for a
The law enforcement will be
glaring
impunity.
glaring case of treasonable felony?
No, but the point there is,
Well, you have to prosecute.
but
If
If you
as far as
do wait
You have to
for,
prosecute
but
first,
as far
I'm
as
not saying that's what I'm saying now. Arrest for prosecution.
Yeah,
I'm not
but-
saying arrest for detention.
Yeah, but the issue there is, I had a guest yesterday on this issue who was saying that, well, if you look at it technically, there is nothing the law enforcement officers would have done because the activity there is an INEC activity.
Yes.
So
Go
the
ahead.
point there, it is only when there is a breakdown of law and order that the security agents will now be activated. So allow INEC process to go on, whether right or wrong. The players within that INEC space, the political parties, the candidates, will know how to slug it out.
Why did the police arrest people during polling, especially when you attempt to cut away ballot boxes? Is that not INEC activity? You should have added to cut away the ballot boxes and say it's INEC activity. And until then, we will not do anything. I think it is important for us to start taking action so as to discourage a repeat of that. This thing should not be allowed to repeat itself most of the time.
We all want.
It shouldn't.
We all want to see a woman star in
I
this
do.
democracy. But we don't have to be starry-eyed about it. Why? Why do you want to go through shortcuts? Why would you want to do that?
I wonder.
Earlier I quoted Shakespeare's Macbeth when Lady Macbeth was urging her husband to kill the King Duncan, when he said, "Come, you spirits that tend on mortal hearts, unsex me here, fill me up from crown to the toe with full direct cruelty, and make my blood thick." You know, he was saying, going soaring with all those kind of things. But it's like the women have not been corrupted by the men. Is that what has happened?
It has happened. I look at, it's unfortunate. We don't know that this woman and the entire APC family actually won the last election, but for the court judgment, because of the irregularities in their primaries, and the court nullified their primaries. As a result, the next they all became officers. Without election, election already won by APC. Because of
that was in Zamfara.
I'm saying that that's happened. Some about two or three that seats were affected in Adamawa too. So something like that. So I'm saying
we have the same thing developing now in Plateau.
It's good to happen. Plateau, very good.
Plateau, yes.
It's good to happen. Plateau.
Plateau State.
It's good to happen. So this is what I'm saying. So the point is that you have the soft spot already in people's mind. You should have just waited. I wonder what the husband did, if there is so. This is where men will need to come in. If they have a strong man behind her, that one should have advised her and say, okay, my dear, no, don't do that. Let's keep her calm.
Are you sure it's not the man saying that?
Not
I
if
want
the
to,
man is
there's something says in one movie say, if you don't want to be Igwe, I want to be Lolo. So maybe in this case,
I want to be the Igwe.
I want to be the Igwe behind the Lolo.
I think you have learned
the first gentleman of the state.
You have learned our lessons. And, apart from politics, it's going to affect our daily life. We should always be very careful.
All right, the PDP in the state has issued a 72-hour ultimatum to INEC to do the needful and make conclusions. We understand that INEC might work out all of these things and declare the results by Thursday. But however, ultimatums like this, anything can come out of it, especially now that there's tension everywhere. Binani has gone to court to seek review of that, of her declaration. Now, we don't know how that process is going to be. PDP, on the other hand, are waiting and saying, INEC, do the needful now. That process must be concluded now. By the time people begin to take the laws into their hands, I wonder what scenarios you're seeing from Adamawa if care is not taken.
I'm happy you have said that if care is not taken. But thank God care is being taken now.
Okay.
The ultimatum by PDP, I will see that as a tea in a storm cup.
You
a
think
storm
so?
in a teacup.
You think
They
so?
do not, yes. Okay. They don't need to issue ultimatum to INEC.
A tea in a storm cup.
A storm.
A tea in a storm cup will have been very, very interesting.
That's the point. That's the point.
That's the point.
No, mind you, he has the right.
The tea will boil, of course. The tea will boil immediately.
He has the point
and spill over.
And to use words the way he likes. But truly, they shouldn't have done that. You don't need to override the polity. Now, the polity in Adamawa State is tense, extremely tense, and every effort must be made to cool it down.
But would you blame them if you're saying, okay, we shouldn't do what to hit the polity?
Yes,
in the first place, who is the aggressor here in this situation? They are just trying to say, okay, we want our mandate back.
Yes.
Although that's not to support any.
And that's why I like the governor for being gubernatorial in his address to his people that they should keep calm. The right thing will be done. Let's wait for INEC to do this and do that. That's what a nationalist should do, and that he has done. For that one, I doff my hat for him. But let me equally say here that INEC must quickly solve this problem. Thank God it has been taken over by the national headquarters, and I want to believe that you come out with the right result. But the damage has already been done. No matter the person declared the winner, it will not have that kind of acceptability as it ought to have had, because already there is this.
It's taking the shine
out of it. And the moment that has taken, already an impasse has been created now. And with that, people will be looking, wondering, whatever you now say will just be taken by a pinch of salt. People will not want to believe.
Will this create legitimacy for the next
whoever becomes? There will be legitimacy problem. Not that you have to go to court to legitimize already, but within the minds of the people, within people of Adamawa, they will want to say that, wow, what happened? Is this our governor? Is this our this or that? It will now take what I'll call a field, remarkable achievement. Breaking new grounds for that administration to win the minds of the people back. It's not an administration that now come up and be seated and just be looking. No, it's an administration that to come and need the ground running. So that people now say, yes, okay, yes, this is our governor, or this or that. Right. That will be the interest of Adamawa and the entire nation.
Okay, we have to leave it here. I believe that in the coming days, we will see how these things pan out. There'll be more reactions, and
definitely
we'll get to see how it goes.
Hope we don't have a case of wild Wild
West.
No, not Wild West. Wild Northeast. Not Central.
We hope that. Ogunlaja, thank you so much for coming. Thank you. And Sami has been an interesting morning. We look forward to another day tomorrow.
Yes. We looked at the issue of the contract.
Aviation?
No, the one we bantered on. The issue of the malaria.
Oh, yeah, the vaccine.
The vaccines.
All right,
yeah.
yes, exactly.
So that the people should be really careful, you know.
Yes.
Because
all right.
it has to be concluded.
Yes, of course. NAFDAC knows what it's doing.
Yes, because, you know,
We have to wrap up here now.